Righto, Woodlands winners. This week's show is going to be called Happy Birthday, and we'll get onto that, but it could have been called Flat Tire, I'm Late, Give Me 20. It could have been called quite a few things. Mark Hughes, welcome, my friend.
Mate, what a day. What a day for Cam Grant. It's all happening in New Zealand.
He's had plenty going on. Cameron, great of you to finally see you. I actually forgot the other one. Oh, my camera's not working. There's a few little side notes we've had for you today, mate.
Yep, you're not wrong. Good to see you too. No, she's been a funny old day for me. Just like the weather, I think, in Christchurch. So.
They tell me she's a wee bit warm over there.
Well, it was warm yesterday, and now it's blowing quite a cold southerly, and it was raining quite a lot. So, and the sun's back out again. So, she's all go.
The joys of New Zealand. Listen, we are going to call it happy birthday, and we're going to wish Woodlands' own Stacey White a very happy birthday. Surely she's only 30 at the most, I would imagine. And I'm going to hopefully be safe there. But a huge happy birthday. She's got, still got plenty on her plate. The horse was racing terrific last week and a big happy birthday, I'm sure, from you boys as well. But well done, Stace. Happy birthday.
Don't worry, it's easy to remember. Stacey and I were born on the same year, and the same year that Woodlands Stud was created. So we're very easy to keep our birthdays on track.
Okay, so I'm in the good books because I'm under.
You're under.
Well,
happy birthday, Stace.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, been a massive week, and we said there before we don't have a what the hell update, but I will say one thing: there is actually a horse. I should have had that page open; would have been the best one to have open first. But there's a horse going around. I think it's at Addington on Friday night. It's got to be at Auckland. It's got to be at Auckland on Friday night in the last race, I reckon it is, and it is called second last race maybe, Quicksilver. And I'm going to wish both Stacey White and Matt Purvis, Matt Peden, all the best with the what the hell out of what is it from True? Is that his name? From True.
From True. That was Stacey. That was the grey mare they raced.
Yeah, and that was a great horse they had at the NZB sales a couple of weeks ago. So good luck to a couple of years ago. Geez, we're flying tonight. But yeah, it was the horse that they had a few years ago at the sales. Beautiful steel grey horse. So good luck to Arna Donnelly and all the connections who've poured in. Gus's Girls Syndicate. So good luck to those guys. And good luck to Stace. It's not maybe a birthday, but it'd be a nice little birthday present for her to breed a winner. It's always what we're after, isn't it, boys? Well,
absolutely.
I was going to say the crickets. This is going as good a show, I reckon, as we've ever started. Right, Hughesy. Let's start off. We'll start off in your homeland. Barbershop for Lather Up.
Then followed by High Believe they get away from the others. Headed by I Gotta Go from Iden Miss World and Rainbow Ranger. Third quarter 29.4. Up to the home turn they come. Barbershop in front. But he moved up on the outside.
Solid day for the team. Then High Believer.
Barbershop in front. In second place. Trying hard. There's a Ripper. Back to the inside goes High Believer. But Barbershop in front. Trying hard. There's Ripper. Barbershop 3 minutes to enough in hand. Runs up was very good
clean gated.
Barbershop goes home to score. Second there's a Ripper. Third High Believer. Then followed by
in his first crop, but he's part of his second crop that winner. But he trialled really nice, that horse, and starting to build a nice little book of nice winners. Lather Up. Did some numbers today. 30 to the races in Australia for his first two crops for 14 individual winners, and as I say, starting to get a little bit of presence about him, but they're not winning one race. They're averaging about 3 or 4 wins, and horse like Calexico's won 5. So going very well that the Lather Ups are, and certainly from about November onwards to the end of March. So a really good 5 months for him.
Yeah, the other little horse that we picked out a few weeks ago, Hughes, that we said we'll be winning one soon and won the next week. It raced the other day as well. I'm just trying to find where it was, but it was another terrific little run. The horse for Nolan Jane and the Cranbourne Syndicate, James Herbertson drives. I can't think of its name.
Yeah,
it was 40 chasing home. I've seen Heaven's Light, A Better's Delight. That was also on the Friday. It's a 3-year-old, sorry. It was a good little run again. So it's a lovely little horse. They just once they hit the track, they seem to keep getting the job done, mate.
They do indeed. And there was a really nice filly one second up at Bendigo last week, at Bendigo, called Soap and Bubbles. It went 155 and home in 55 and change. So nice little win for her. Shout out to Bo Jarama who bred her, and he was telling me yesterday that they've waited 5 years since their last winner. So congratulations to Bo and the team for getting her over the line. Talk about patience personified.
Yeah, well, and I apologise we didn't get last week's show off the ground. I just had a little bit of work happening, so it would have been featured then. So, doing a great job. Sudsy, as he's more affectionately known, and great names. And Heath Woods, I met Heath when I was in Tassie, a ripping gentleman, only trains 4 horses and doing an awesome job with those teams. Cameron, we go to Addington on Friday night, the second of the metropolitan meetings, but great to see Hadron Collider won back in the winner's circle. He was terrific. Unfortunately, I'll put the Sweet Lou compartment in part of that in the wrong spot. He's out in front, but looks like he's come back a more professional horse. He's always had the ability, can be a little bit green, but this was a very professional win, mate.
Yeah, like I said, just another good Sweet Lou son. Look, he's just ticked over 100 grand now in winnings, which is nice. Home in 56 and 27, so they've got a nice kind of nice click at Addington. I guess it's pretty normal there nowadays. Yeah, like I said, just showing how these Sweet Loos are kind of getting better and better, and out of the betters delight me. Look, this is the Woodlands Stud family that just keeps leaving winner after winner. As Mark always says, it's just, you go to this family, you get winners. Probably a bit of a drop back in class for it to come back in, but look, it's won it pretty well the other day. And again, like I said, Sweet Lou really just leaving winner after winner every week, and we just keep talking about him. So he's certainly the next up and comer.
Probably fair to say, though, we don't feature a lot of them in this show because we expect them to win, I think, and they continue to do it. Sometimes I think we take them for granted, a little bit like the last horse. We take him for granted a bit as well, which we definitely shouldn't do. Arafura, that's another of the Sweet Loos that didn't win, but was outstanding in the size stakes at Cambridge on Friday night as well, Cam.
Yeah, look, she's got a motor. She's certainly got an Oaks filly written all over her.
Be careful, you might not get paid there. You got to be careful on that.
Hey, don't worry, I think she'll go pretty close to that. She'll go close enough. Like I said, she's got a few tricks, I think, but she's a very, very fast horse and gets the right runs. She's certainly good enough to be right there with them.
Yeah, of course, we talk about Beside Me, and they're both beaten home by a better's filly as well, so it was a great result for the farm there in that size stakes heat as well, but we're not going to worry too much. Rocky Husey down by the Seaside, and Cardigan Dan for Danny Zavazanos. This was a very, very impressive win. Massive quarters, 27-8, 27 flat, or something like that. It might be the other way around, but just incredible quarters this horse was able to carve out.
Yeah, there was a pretty strong whisper that this was a very smart horse half a dozen weeks ago. And look, first time to the races, 54 and change for a 2-year-old in one of the nutrient heats and into the final this Friday night. As you say, blasted home in 54. Pretty big day for Seaside on there at Melton last. He had 2 of his down by the Seaside 2-year-olds win both divisions. One of his down by the Seaside daughters won one of the other nutrient divisions in Brisbane last week. So big fill up for him in Australia last week. Plenty of 2- and 3-year-old winners, and the impression that we spoke about him creating quite a while ago has certainly taken shape in the last 3 or 4 months, and he'll have a big say in some of these baby races at Melton on Friday night. Looking forward to those.
Yep. Massive, the Nutrien race series, of course, Woodlands have been great supporters of that, sponsoring the parade since its inception, Husey, and continuing to get behind it. 11 heats of the Nutrien Classic, 7 won by Woodlands side horses. Seaside with 3, Better's Delight with 3, and Sweet Lou with 1. All very, very impressive. A couple of those were on debut in New South Wales as well. So great fill up for the stud.
Yeah, look, very, very successful for our boys last week in all of those heats across the eastern seaboard. So look forward to those finals this Friday night. And we've got some genuinely live chances, obviously. So look forward to that. But it's one of those ones where, you can confidently go to a yearling sale and pick out our progeny and know that, for more, they're really going to be heavy hitters in a lot of these finals. So absolutely.
Before we highlight the last horse, it was super impressive, Nocturnal. bred by John Stiven. It's got sold over here because the mare was sold in final, but
Yep.
a great supporter of Woodlands as well. John has been over the journey, and it was a very, very impressive debut. When Freddie Hastings doesn't call them for a long time, you know that he thinks they can't win from there, and he just kept powering to the line. And Peter Gianni, who loves the Woodlands horses, was able to purchase a couple of good purchases the last couple of years, and I think he purchased another Betcha like this year as well. So he's he loves Woodlands as well.
Yeah, look, that horse hit the line first start there in Menangle last Saturday night, and bred on a little bit of the reverse cross by Better's Delight out of the Sweet Lou mare. So Better's leading 2-year-old sire in Australia and New Zealand at the end of March, mate. So not bad for a 27-year-old.
Yep, and of course, Sinaloa was the other horse. Sweet Lou, out of Someone to Love, was a good win. Right, Cam, I think we've sat off this horse. We have not highlighted this horse on this show yet, which is amazing. But Leap to Fame came to New Zealand and was just too good. Cam Grant, what were your impressions, mate?
Well, look, I think the New Zealand breeder kind of spectator has been really waiting for this horse to come, and it's been a bit of a mystery with obviously a couple of things going wrong and when it has been going to come over here. So for the Seymours and Grant Dixon and co to bring the horse over and get him in the flesh, I think people were pretty excited to see that. And Larry, he certainly lived up to all expectations and probably put down that he's one of the best horses we've seen in this part of the world, I think, almost ever. Horses just don't do what he did the other night around Cambridge, The track held up pretty good with the weather they had. Obviously, Don Hugo's been a pretty impressive horse in Aussie and been winning all the big stakes races, and he just put the sword to him and said, see you later. So 2 seconds quicker than the track record, beating a pretty good field, and just how tough he was. Like I said, I don't think we've seen a horse like this in this part of the world ever. I don't think. We could almost get there now, and so pretty happy, pretty stoked for the connections. Well done to them. It's nice to say to come over here, and good that Larry put his best foot down, I guess, again, and just showing like how the superstar he is of a racehorse.
Husey, your thoughts on the race? I know you text me straight afterwards. Your thoughts when you saw what he was able to achieve?
Yeah, look, I think well and truly now everybody knows that he is just an elite animal. He's quite easily the best pacer in the world. There's no doubt about that. I can confidently say that after seeing a lot of horses in the US and Canada, mate. He'd be ultra competitive up there. He's world class. He's the best animal in the world. I think the last couple of furlongs, when he put Luke's horse to the sword, and then he had Mark camped all over him with the other horse and Merlin camped all over him, and they just couldn't run on and beat him, mate. Every horse in that race had the opportunity to beat him, and if anything, he was pulling away from them at the finish. So 50th career win, heading into 4 million in stakes. One of the great performers. I always idolised Cullen. He's probably the best horse I've seen, but I think Leap to Fame's gone to a couple of rungs above the ladder now for me.
I think that's fair. The one thing I love the confidence. Let's see if I can get this at the right spot. But I just love the confidence here. If you watch Lukey's hands, he's asking, and Grant's hands. Granny's asking. Luke's just sitting there, and Grant's just like, mate, we're just going to keep giving it to you and giving it to you. He learns. He seems to learn, like he sat off him in the Miracle Mile and thought he'd be able to out-sprint him. So he decided, well, I'm not going to be able to do that, even though he'd done a power work early. Yep. He just keeps asking, and then he gets alongside, and it's like Granny's like, okay, we got you covered now. You can see he's not urging him as much. He's like, rightio, you're under pressure. He'll do the rest of the job. He's got such great confidence. I think, they're a great match, these two guys. I love the way Grant drives him, and I love the way Grant learns from him. You think of the horses he's been able to go to battles with and destroy, and he just keeps coming day after day. Like you said, can't take anything away from the 3 behind him. Actually, the 4th horse was outstanding as well. We'll touch on him in a sec. But they're great horses. They're very, very, very good horses, very good horses. And he just puts them to the sword, and it's just brilliant to watch, I reckon.
Yeah, look, he drove him like he was the best horse in the race, but he turned it into a staying race. And staying and speed and stamina, mate. This horse brings it all to the table. So great to have an elite animal in our sport. That is absolutely world class, and obviously a lot more to come for him, for the son of Better's Delight. The king just continually leaves these animals year on year. It's It's quite insane. Better's is pushing now towards over 600 million in career earnings for his progeny. So it's just relentless, absolutely relentless.
I went to Cambridge Stud and I was explaining to the guys there, and they didn't believe me, but I was explaining to them that a standardbred is actually the most winningest horse stallion in the world. It doesn't matter what stat you want to go by, winners, prize money left, it doesn't matter. And they don't believe me, but they did go and look it up, and they did come back and eat a bit of humble pie. They said, "You're right." I said, "I'm telling you, I'm not saying it lightly. You're not saying it lightly, Uzi. We need to realise what we've actually got." Yep. And we only need to go back to this show 2 weeks ago. I think it was. We were showing about a 2-year-old turned 3-year-old that could arguably, replace a horse we're talking about that is a generational horse, and they're both by the same sire. Marketplace is phenomenal what he can do speed-wise. This guy's phenomenal how tough he is, and his durability, and go from there. And hopefully he stands at stud, and hopefully he'll eventually dispel his theory that Betters can't leave a sire, because Betters doesn't have to leave a sire, because Betters is still standing at the minute. That's why he doesn't leave a sire. But going forward, hopefully a horse like Larry and Lazarus and these horses can keep continuing to get the job done, and maybe silence a few of these knockers. But anyway, that's okay. That's my little rant. Generally, it's usually that has a bit of a rant, but that's actually mine. Want to highlight one other horse, guys. The horse here last, there in the Johnny Cox colours, Pin Seeker, son of Down by the Seaside, is a phenomenal run, because he doesn't get any clear running. He's a mile off. I had to go back to the last off at the gate. I'll just speed it up. But huge run, Husey, a horse we've been keen on for a long time, and really announced himself to, I think, a lot of people when they saw what he was able to achieve.
Yeah, look, his lead-in run to this was super, but the way he hit the line there on Friday night was quite phenomenal. And you can just see him, mate, being in the finishing touches of a New Zealand Cup probably later this year. Can generally see that he's just going to stay and just covered up like that. And he's just starting to emerge as a 5-year-old, part of Seaside's first crop. So he's an exciting horse, mate. And genuinely, I think he will be a New Zealand Cup horse down the road, certainly in November.
Sneaky little whisper that he may be in Australia before that, though.
Okay.
There could be a race series in Queensland that might be up his alley. So, whether he can beat the big boys, who knows? But it might be a good grounding curve for him. So, hearing that he could be heading towards the end of the Dominion. So, which would be exciting for him and exciting for Seaside.
Yeah, probably makes sense. Give the horse a trip away. A lot of those horses that get a trip away obviously learn to grow up and, take it all in their stride. And, you often hear trainers saying travelling the horses, the making of them. So, for Johnny to want to do that, I'm sure that'll be an absolute plus for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going to do something a little bit left of field, boys, here with the Gavel House. Cam smirks. He's like, what has he got planned? What else has he got planned? But no, but at the minute at Gavel House with we've got a weanling filly by Better's Delight at a Cullen Who. That is a full sister to Marketplace for sale. Reserve's been met there, so she's for sale at $65,000. And then the mother of Marketplace is not on the market yet, but it must be pretty close at $90,000. So going to be interesting little watching. That's going to be, this show will go up Wednesday morning, so that'll close later on Wednesday afternoon. But it's going to be, well, it may not. I might actually put this show up tonight, but it closes Wednesday afternoon, I think 7 o'clock your time, Cam, Grant? Is that correct?
Yep, that's spot on. That's spot on. So, yeah, that's very interesting. Like I said, can you get any more current than that? Absolutely not. So
no. And that man, I don't know if I said Cullen Who's actually in fold of Betters as well. So, so good luck to Two Connections. Must also look after our friends at NZB. Well, I just did, I suppose. Going from there, we'll put this one up as well with the weanling sales. Going to be in June as well. So, actually, that horse is going to race in July. The weanling sales is going to be in June. So, pretty exciting for everyone. Woodlands will be represented, boys.
Absolutely. Like I said, no, we're looking forward to it. I think the lists are just getting all finalised, and I'm sure entries close in the next kind of couple of weeks. So I'm not too sure how they're stacking up, but I'm sure they'll be going all right now. I haven't talked to Cam, so I'm sure they're stacking up nicely, and so looking forward to it.
Yeah. I haven't mentioned to you, wee fellas, it's can be a random show, and I don't mind paying pot shots at the odd person from time to time. Have you heard what the great man's been up to, Cam Bray?
No.
May have had a game of rugby. May have overexerted his abilities, and his calf has come off a very, very bad second best, I believe. He saw the try line and said, "I'm going to go there." And apparently, when he got tackled, he was like, "Oh, I think I'm in a bit more trouble than just a tackle." I believe so.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you go from the size of a prop to a winger.
Well, you actually said that. That's exactly what he said. He got put wide, and he said he saw the try line and he was off.
the old Cam wouldn't have had that problem. He would have been at the 2 metre line pushing forward.
he said it was a long crawl to the bench too. There was no stretcher coming out for him.
Was.
So, anyway, if you want to get in touch with Cam Bray, you can for any of your NZB inquiries, because he ain't going far at the minute.
That's probably why he hasn't returned a phone call from today. He's probably lying in bed asleep, mate, just getting over his injuries.
He reckons he's done one before and it hurt, but this one's even better. So, yeah. But anyway, bit of fun, bit of harmless fun. He's actually okay. I wouldn't be saying it if he wasn't, but yeah. Boys, thank you.
Everyone certainly deserves a drive by now and then, Cobby. You know that. So.
We don't miss them on this show. That's, I think, half the reason some people tune in, usually just to see. But I think I was the tune-upper of a few today, not the other way around. But must say again, huge happy birthday to Stacey. Go from there. Cam Grant, don't think you're getting this much love, I can tell you that. But good luck to her. Good luck to her and Maddie Peden with their horse. Having debut, it's always exciting too. And good luck to anyone that's got horses racing this weekend, especially in the Nutrient Classics, usually. We're going to be there. There's going to be plenty happening and plenty of horses on offer. I saw a very, very nice Seaside filly, last filly that'll be offered up this year. So some really nice horses in this sale as well.
Yeah, looking forward to the weekend. So best of luck to everybody racing Friday night, selling on Sunday. We'll be there on Saturday sponsoring the parade again. I think, is this yearling sale number 4, is it, or 5 for Nutrient, mate? Like I'm losing track. It might be 4, but we've been there since the get-go of the sponsorship. So happy to be part of that again on the weekend. Look forward to catching up with everybody.
How old's the locomotive?
Maybe 4 or 5, would he? Yeah.
So it must be 4. Must be 4 years. This will be
okay.
This will be the 4th because it was the inaugural year. I know that. So I think this is 4 years, but not sure. Anyway, but hopefully, and there's a lot of talk about the negativity in Victoria. But as I keep saying to people, you can buy these horses and race them anywhere. They're not bound to be racing in Victoria. There is 10 horses. Well, you guys go, now you're really throwing me under the bus. But hang on, I'll be able to get this. There is actually 10 horses. Cam Grant's just sitting there. Don't worry about that. You got a flat tire. I know where it is too.
Don't worry, me and it was my
wrong one. Wrong one. That's a thank you to Brecken Farms in Cambridge. I can't find it, but there's 10. There is actually 10 horses eligible for the NZB. New Zealand
stake.
In the sales. There is 5 trotters and 5 paces. In it. I'm just seeing. I'm not going to be able to find it. Here they are.
I reckon there's Seasides and the Betters, yeah.
There is actually 2 Seasides, 2 Betters Delights, Bird Parker, Village Mystique, Bold Eagle, 1 Sweet Blue, I think. Yep. Orlando Vici and a Ready Cash. So, 5 trotters and 5 paces, all eligible for the New Zealand Sire Stakes. So any New Zealand buyers watching this, you want to purchase a horse, go from there. Definitely do that. Get involved in the trotters. The trotters are ever growing as well, so go from there. Bet and Win was terrific too. We didn't mention Bet and Win. The Woodlands owns Bet and Win, but he was terrific. Just bad draw, Cam Grant.
Yeah, like I said, I think a couple of hard runs is probably going to suit him as well. Just it's a bit of a step up and with the big boys, I guess. So I think some hard races are probably only going to toughen him up and make him a better horse. So like I said, they went track record as well. So look, he was running on.
All right, boys, thank you. Now, Cam Grant, we are going to do this show. We're going to start it at 12 o'clock. Hughesy, you and I will log in at about 4:30, mate. How's that sound? We should be right.
We should do anyway. As long as that flat tyre's repaired, and he was out at a long lunch as well. So
Brian West. If you've ever had lunch with Brian West, our main man at Southern Bloodstock, it can go anywhere from an hour to 4. So,
is that what you're saying? Is it you're blaming Westy, poor little old Westy, and you're blaming him?
Yeah, he won't be watching. So
you had the camera facing the wrong way. You couldn't even fix that, boys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Cobber.
Thank you.
See yous.
Second place, He's the Ripper sticking with the front runner, then followed by High Believer. They get away from the others, headed by I Gotta Go from Iden, Miss World and Rainbow Ranger. Third quarter, 29.4. Up to the home turn they come. Barbershop in front, but He's the Ripper moves up on the outside, only about a metre away now as they turn. Then High Believer. Barbershop in front, in second place, trying hard, He's the Ripper. Back to the inside goes High Believer, but Barbershop in front, trying hard, He's the Ripper. Barbershop 3 minutes clear, enough in hand, runs right up to its very, very good trial form. Barbershop goes home to score. Second, He's a Ripper. Third, High Believer. Then followed by
Challenge leading by a sulky's length on Let's Start in Heaven, who's in a pocket on his outside as You Gotta Believe. He's trying to edge up a little closer, but he's wanting to lug in a bit on the corners, so he's losing ground there. Back on the inside, Kitzbühel Delight needing some clear air, but tapped up in readiness. And then Siago Island as they sprint for home, peeling deep. Brooklyn Dan, but still 20 off the leader. 27.60 march down the back, and it's Cardigan Dan at the top of the stretch. Into clear air, Let's Start in Heaven in a clear second. Kitzbühel Delight's in a clear third, but in the straight, it's Cardigan Dan. He's going strongly. He's 6-7 metres in front. Let's Start in Heaven is battling on in second spot, but Cardigan Dan is going to be first out and first home. Cardigan Dan first, second Let's Start in Heaven. Fifth
to run, and it's Hadron Collider. Favourite being there every step of the way and travels well. On Biggles parked, Follow Your Dream. Travels well, will wait for her, go via the passing lane, and 1-1 Molly Bellwin around Francent. Next in turn, Mr. Cashman, Classy Lincoln. Last of all is Light Me Up. Second quarter, 31 and 1 the half, and 61 and 5. Hadron Collider inside the 600. Leads the way 3/4 of a length on Biggles, but the leader travels well. Follow Your Dream appears to travel well. Up in the 1-1 is Molly Bellwin around Francent. Then Mr. Cashman, Classy Lincoln. Last of all is Light Me Up. It's Hadron Collider. And Blair had a look over the right shoulder. Third quarter and 29 and 4. Follow Your Dream sweating the passing lane. Then Biggles. Molly Bellwin to the outside and Francent. Hadron Collider inside the 150 travels well. On Follow Your Dream, Francent and Biggles, but it's Hadron Collider down inside the 50, and the favourite is getting away, trying hard late, Francent, but Hadron Collider beats a big...
They're followed by Don't Stop Dreaming, Ahoka Connor. Republican Party's had a shuffle up. Rakiro Rocket, Pin Seeker opening quarter, 29 and 8. They've got a circuit left to go, and they're turning it on for us here in the Waikato. Don Hugo and Leap to Fame lead by 2. Duchess Megxit. Merlin's 1-1 for Zachary Butcher. Chase a Dream on the inside of Don't Stop Dreaming. Ahoka Connor 4 back and buried on the pegs from Republican Party. Pin Seeker, Rakiro Rocket the second quarter in 28.2, and it's Don Hugo and Nick on the outside. Leap to Fame 2 lengths. Duchess Megxit up on the outside. Merlin now moves to third as a speed now right on down to the 550. Chase a Dreams away from the pegs. Ahoka Connor, Republican Party, Pin Seeker, Rakiro Rocket drifting away. Don't Stop Dreaming round to the 400, the Betcha 400, the back straight quarter in an electric 27 and 5. Don Hugo, Leap to Fame on the outside. 2 lengths Merlin for the TFS Horse Transport passing lane, then Chase a Dream top of the home straight. Leap to Fame's got to Don Hugo. 2 lengths Merlin down the outside. Chase a Dream, it's Leap to Fame in front by 2. Chase a Dream's the danger down the outside. Leap to Fame, the legend of Larry's landed in New Zealand, and he's got the race by Betcha. And Leap to Fame, 50 career successes, and what a way to bring it up. Chase a Dream.